Well, welcome back everybody to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League for our GT3 Wednesday Championship. Round 9, Race 2 at Suzuka in Japan. We were praying for rain in Race 1 and it never turned up. So fingers crossed it might show its face in Race 2. We don't know. We can only hope. I'm sure the drivers don't want rain, but we certainly do as spectators, don't we? So without further ado, let's crack on and have a look and see where everybody is on the grid. Now then, this is a reverse grid. So let's have a look at where we are. So Vane is on pole position. Matty Older is in second. Again, he started second on the grid in race 1. Didn't have a fantastic race, got absolutely mugged at the start. So he's hoping for something a little bit better than that this time around. Carlsberg is third, Willard is fourth, Sai is fifth. Then we've got Unforgiven is sixth on the grid. Method is seventh, Nath is eighth, Grasshopper ninth, Stormfly 10th. Did everything he could to get onto the podium, didn't he? But couldn't quite get there, and then ended up with a half a second penalty on the final lap, which allowed Bennett through. But Stormfly finds himself now 10th on the grid. Bennett came in third. Great racing from him in race 1 in that Peugeot. He's now 11th on the grid with Neil Farmack just behind him in 12th with Smith. Race 1 winner in 13th, but not quite at the back because Brian Moncani has joined. Brian Moncani couldn't make it for race 1, but has put in an appearance for race 2, so just picking up some extra points for Brian. Very quick as well is Brian, especially in this AMG. He really seems to have got to grips with it, so we'll keep an eye on him to see if he can get his way through the pack. So that is the starting lineup then. Let's get the normal camera and we'll get them underway, shall we? So it is, I forgot what it is now. What is it? It's softs and hard tyres to be used in race 2. So there is a mandatory pit stop. Obviously the tyre wear and the fuel consumption has been raised. As Vane gets a decent start. Sai gets off the mark very quick again and has moved up into second already, but Vane leads everybody into turn 1. Oh, we've had somebody go off already. Oh, it's all kicking off now. Let's have a look. Let's go back and have a look at this, shall we? From the off. So Method was in 7th. I think he went off first. And a quick look behind us. Grasshopper sitting behind him, although in 9th. Obviously the staggered grid makes a difference there. A bit touchy-feely from Grasshopper very early on Method. Oh, and there we go. Oh, it's yeah, everybody's having a punt at everybody else then. It's all sorts of chaos. So Grasshopper, I think he got hit, who in turn hit Method. They've gone off. Surely it should be a safety car. There was 2 cars gone off. Oh, and we've had somebody else go off as well, Willard. It's not. What a great start. It's chaos. So let's just go back up to the top. And it doesn't look like a safety car has been called. Personally, I thought it would be because everybody went off. But Sai is got himself out in front and he's off and running. He doesn't care if the safety car's called. He's not listening to it. He's got his headphones on and his fingers in his ears or whatever. He's just not listening. He is off and running. He's out in the lead, and that's where I'm going to stay. Matty in second, just managing to hold on to P2 just behind Sai. Sai goes very deep into turn 11 at the hairpin, almost allowing Matty to go through, but just holding him off. Stormfly already up to third. Well, I'm not surprised after the chaos at the beginning. So Stormfly going from 10th all the way up into third already, so he's looking to make up for not getting on the podium in race 1. He definitely wants to get up there this time around, and he's currently sitting in P3. So Neil Farmack again, he's made his way through the grid as well in amongst all of that chaos and has got himself up into P4 as we come up to 1:30R for the first time in race 2. So the podium guys from race 1 are already up and sniffing around the podium now. Neil Farmack currently sitting in 4th. Unforgiven in 5th then we've got Nath, Brian Moncani. Oh, a bit of a gap then back to Brian Moncani already. Oh no, he's not. Nath is just behind. Sorry. Brian is not that far actually behind Nathan. I just had a look at the map at the top and it looked like there was quite a big gap, but Brian Moncani then from 14th excuse me, up to 7th, so 7 places made up already for Brian Moncani. Smith in 8th. Then we've got Bennett, Willard, Grasshopper, Vane, Method and Carlsberg that were all involved in something earlier on in lap 1, but now we're on lap 2 and things have calmed down a little bit. Sai still in the lead of this race. Oh no, as Matty goes through, as Sai makes a bit of a mistake as he went through Dunlop curve. I'm not quite sure what it was, but he's now down to 4th. He's gone from leading this race now down into 4th as Matty goes through. Stormfly moves up into P2 with Sai. Well, he's made his way back up into P3 now with Unforgiven in 4th. Have we had somebody else go off? No, I'm just looking at the map at the top. No, we've not gone off. Nathan 5th. In fact, shall we jump on board with Nath? He won't mind, will he? Let's go on board with Nath. So all the guys fitted with cameras to their helmets so we can get this kind of view. Quick look behind us, Brian Moncani in that AMG looking very menacing at the minute in P6 as they go around Spoon Curve for the second time. Good exit is what you want from here so you can get the power down nice and early. Get into the slipstream of the car ahead as you go up the hill through the penalty zone. Up towards 130R then at turn 15, and Nath definitely in the slipstream of Unforgiven, but not really going to be making a move there, is he? Or be mad if you did. Sai in 3rd then, just ahead as we enter the Casio Triangle, and Nath makes a bit of a late move up the inside, but manages to slow that car down enough to avoid contact with Unforgiven. But look at that view. That is Brian Moncani, who has got a fantastic exit out of the Casio Triangle and is right onto the back of Nathan. In fact, has now got his nose in front as they go into turn 1. So a brilliant move from Brian Moncani. Around turn 1 and 2 then as they come down towards the S's. So let's leave Nath alone. We're obviously putting him off. Brian Moncani, brilliant racing from him to move up into 5th. Smith in 7th, so slowly but surely making his way through the pack. So let's just have a look at the tyres, shall we? So Matty leading this race on the soft tyres. As I say, we know he's got the pace around here because he put himself 2nd on the grid for race 1 after qualifying. So he definitely knows his way around this track. And at the minute, doing a good job of keeping Stormfly behind him. He is on the soft tyres, so is Stormfly, so they have got to make a stop shortly and get themselves onto the hards. So the idea is get a decent gap between yourself and the rest of the pack, so when you do go onto those hard tyres you can coast it home. As Unforgiven and Sai have a bit of a door bashing session and are fighting for that 3rd podium spot. Unforgiven on the soft tyres, Sai on the hard tyres, so he's actually doing a great job of sitting in P4 at the minute. He was leading, wasn't he, very early on in the race after all the chaos. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Why have we got a yellow flag now then? Is it because of Carlsberg going off? I doubt it very much. He's all the way at the back. I'm not quite sure what the yellow flag was about, but anyway, Stormfly has now taken the lead. Well, let's just go back and oh, it must have been Matty then. It must have been Matty because let's just follow him through. We're with Stormfly at the minute and we're just going around 200R at turn 12. Still on board with Stormfly. Quick look behind us, there's nobody there. Quite a gap opened up. Stormfly having a bit of a cheeky look at the inside and gets the job done actually very easily. And then Matty goes off and and it's good night from him, and facing the wrong way as all the traffic starts to head his way. Oh, that is so unlucky. From 1st now down to, well, soon be 8th as Grasshopper goes by, maybe even 9th if Bennett can get the momentum going as he comes up the hill, and he will. So Matty down to 9th with Willard chasing him. So that's what happened there then. And that is, it looks like Willard's going to go up the inside, so Matty having to go very wide through 130R. Now down to 11th. Oh, what a disastrous few turns for Matty. Really was hoping that he could have held on to one of those top spots, but Stormfly now out in front, and quite a distance between himself and Unforgiven, which is what he wants really, because he's going to have to go onto the hard tyres soon. You can see the tyres starting to wear down, and we are only on lap 4. Unforgiven in second. Brian Moncani also on the soft tyres has made his way up into third, so great racing from him so far. Started 14th on the grid, made his way up into third. Sai is on the hard tyres in fourth, so this is a good position for Sai to be in. I think if he can hold on to fourth or fifth with the cars around him all being on the soft tyres, Nath also on the soft tyres, so Sai won't be too bothered that Nath has made the move on him. And let's just have a look at Smith. Smith is on the hard tyres, so this is who Sai is racing at the minute. And both Sai and Smith in the Ferraris will not be bothered that the guys ahead have gone by, because they will have to make a pit stop very soon and go on to the hard tyres, whereas Sai and Smith are going to go a little bit further into this race, I think, and then they will switch to the softer compound tyres towards the end, and they'll have obviously the better grip and a bit more speed, so they just need to maintain these positions at the minute. Sai and Smith. Grasshopper, what's he? Grasshopper's on the soft tyres as well, down in 7th in the Corvette. Now I'm not sure, but I've been told the Corvette likes to eat tyres. Grasshopper on the other hand is very good at looking after them, so it's going to be interesting to see how far he can make it on those soft tyres. Bennett on the hards, he's sitting in P8 at the minute, but he's got Neil Farmack all over him, and we're just going to stick with these guys as we come up to 130R again for the 4th time. And Neil Farmack, is he going to make a move before they get to Casio Triangle? Bennett on the inside, Neil Farmack trying to go around the outside. It's too wide through there. Wow, fantastic racing from them two. There's not a lot of room. Oh, and Bennett has come into the pits. Well, let's just hope he meant to and he wasn't forced. Method, he's down in 11th. He's also on the hard tyres. So Bennett, he does like to pit early, doesn't he, Bennett? Sometimes a little bit too early. We are just approaching 9 minutes, and already Bennett is in to get onto the soft tyres, so big question mark as always with Bennett is, can he make them tyres last? He usually does. Vane in 11th on the hards, and Matty all the way down in 12th on those softs. So Bennett back out then, and he's now on a set of soft tyres with Kolsberg in 14th. And praying for the rain, I am sure. He is also on soft tyres, so made a stop as Carlsberg. That's probably why he's all the way where he is, so he's made a stop as well as Bennett. Up at the front then, Stormfly, he's still going, half a tank of fuel, just over, so plenty of fuel for Stormfly. It is just how long he can make those tyres last. And really wants to open up a gap. Has got the fastest lap at the minute, 201.3. Unforgiven sitting in second. His fastest lap is a 203, so almost 2 seconds off the pace of Stormfly. But then again, Unforgiven has got some defending to do as Brian Moncani chases him. Let's go on board with Brian Moncani. A quick look behind us. Nath sitting in 4th, having a good race so far is Nath. Into 130R they go. At turn 15 into the chicane at 16 and 17. Just taking a little bit of curves. Doesn't do the tyre the world of good, those curbs, but you do have to cross them if you want to get through there quickly. It's through turn 18 then and back onto the straight. 3/4 of a mile long straight down towards turn 1 as Brian Moncani gets closer and closer to Unforgiven, but doesn't get close enough to put a challenge in at the minute. But he is just keeping the pressure on as they now enter turn 3 and the S's, or the beginning of the S's, the series of left right through turn 6, then up into turn 7 and Dunlop curve. Another quick look behind us. Nath is still there, so Brian Moncani currently sitting in P3 just behind Unforgiven as they go down the hill towards turn 8 at Degner curve, taking as much of the track as they dare. just being very careful out there on the, oh, what a big old slide there from Brian Mulcahy, but he caught it, didn't lose any time, and he's in fact I think he's getting a little bit closer to Unforgiven as they come through the hairpin at turn 11. Let's leave Brian alone as he tries to push on and take that position away from Unforgiven. Nath sitting in 4th, as we've said. Smith has made his way up into 5th on the hard tyres. He just needs to hold on to that now. Then where was Si gone? Si really needed to hold on, didn't he? Oh, he's made a stop. That's why Si is down in now 9th. He actually made a stop. Now then, this is going to be interesting because he knows the guys up ahead have got to stop as well. Smith has not stopped yet. Now then, will he come in at the end of this lap? We have, where are we? We're not quite at halfway yet, just about halfway. So let's just see if Smith can come in now. We do know the soft tyres are going to take you at least 6 laps. 12 and a half minutes. Let's just have a look. So Smith is coming in, yeah, he knows, as I say, that the softs are going to last for the second half of the race, so now he can come in and start pushing. So let's just go back up to the top then. Stormfly on those soft tyres, albeit very worn soft tyres, are about 50%. He's still going, he's still got a decent gap back to Unforgiven. And in the fastest lap, well, I was going to say he's still got the fastest lap, but he's not, because that honour now goes to Neil Farmack at 201.2, but his tyres are looking very worn as well as he tries to put the pressure on Grasshopper as they come around the S's. Grasshopper holding on to P5 in the Corvette with Neil Farmack in the Subaru. Having a bit of a look around the outside, but nothing doing, should I say. Grasshopper holding him off, although Neil Farmack has managed to just squeeze himself alongside Grasshopper as we go through turn 8, and Neil Farmack gets the move on. Neil Farmack on the soft tyres, Grasshopper also on the soft tyres, but they are a lot more worn than Neil Farmack, so that is probably why Grasshopper conceded that position to Neil Farmack. He knew he didn't have the tyres to fight him off. So Grasshopper, I think, would or should be coming in at the end of this lap, because there's not going to be a lot of tyre left. That front right is looking very sorry for itself. So he'll be switching to the hard tyres with 11 minutes to go. Willard in 7th, also going to have to make a stop. Si has made his stop. He's out now on a fresh set of boots, the soft ones, and has made his way up into 8th. So as the guys ahead of him start to come in, Si should start making his way through the pack. Same with Smith. Made his stop, didn't he, at the end of last lap. He is now out on a fresh set of soft tyres that, well, should be up to temperature now. So look out for Smith making his way through the pack. Then we've got Bennett in 10th. We've got Matty in 11th. Method 12th. Carlsberg is 13th with Vane down in 14th. And there we go. So Neil Farmack into the pits. Currently sitting in P6. I think that means then that Grasshopper has stayed out. Yeah, he has. Grasshopper stayed out. Thinks he can get one more lap out of them tyres. They must be really hurting him now, though. Stormfly also stayed out. His tyres are looking a bit better than Grasshopper's. Unforgiven has stayed out. They all want to get one more lap out of these soft tyres. As is Brian Mulcahy in 3rd. It is starting to get a little bit dark out there now, isn't it? And I think that's more to the fact that we are getting towards the end of the day, and it's not that the rain's coming that we all want to see. As I've said before, the drivers, I'm sure, don't want the rain to come, but we certainly do. Nath sitting in 4th then. So all of these guys yet to make a stop. So Stormfly, Unforgiven, Brian Mulcahy, Nath have not stopped. Grasshopper also has not stopped, but he really needs to come in now. That front right, well, both front tyres are about gone. And the fuel light is flashing as well, so Grasshopper will be coming in at the end of this lap. Willard also needs to come in, so we could see a bit of a rush into the pit lane. Where is Si? Where is Si? There he is. He has just come around turn 11 and entering into 200R now at turn 12. He has made his stop, so all the guys, the 6 guys in front of him, have all got to come in, and probably will do at the end of this lap. So Si just needs to keep pushing. putting some good laps in. A 201.5 is his previous lap, and Neil Farmack's fastest is 201.2, so only 3/10 off the fastest lap is Si. And there we go, our race leader Stormfly is into the pits to get onto the hard tyres. I'm just gonna stay with Si because I just want to see whereabouts he is when all the guys have finished coming into the pits. Now then, it looks like Unforgiven and Brian McCartney have both stayed out. So Stormfly's in, Grasshopper is in. Well, he's got no fuel left. Oh, and Si's coming again. Why is Si coming? Oh, don't tell me he's forgot to put fuel in. What a shame. If that's the case, if Si forgot to put fuel in when he pitted, what an absolute shame. As Smith goes through now into P4, Stormfly is back out on track on some hard tyres in P3. Brian Moncani has not yet pitted, neither has Unforgiven. So Stormfly will resume the lead of this race when the two guys ahead of him come into the pits. Smith, though, on soft tyres, chasing Stormfly down. And what a disaster for Si. I really thought that he was going to get himself back up there in amongst the leaders and maybe even onto the podium, but it looks like he forgot to put fuel in when he came into the pits. He may have not done it on purpose. I hope not. I hope he didn't do it on purpose, but unless it's his strategy, I'm not sure. But either way, it's cost him this race. Smith, however, let's have a look. Where is Stormfly? Stormfly just coming on the exit of turn 11. There we see the headlights of Smith as he comes up to the hairpin. So let's start to see what those lap times as they start to drop. Stormfly he came into the pits last lap, didn't he? He's done a 2:02 on lap 7, but I think that was on worn soft tyres. Smith a 2:01.2. Well, he's only a couple of hundreds off of the fastest lap of Neil Farmack's as it starts to get very dark. So it's looking like Smith is in a fantastic position at the minute. Unforgiven and Brian Moncani, I was just about to say, are going to come into the pits, and in they go. So Stormfly will take over the lead of this race as he's entering into the chicane now. Let's have a look in the background. Can we see? Because the cameraman always holds on. There we see the headlights. We just saw the headlights lighting up the billboards there of Smith. So the chase is on now as Stormfly will take over the lead of this race as Unforgiven and Brian Moncani still in the pits. Fuel just going into their cars now. Where is Smith? Let's have a look. Smith has gone through. So Smith has moved up into P2. Unforgiven now coming out of the pits. He's going to rejoin in P3. Brian Moncani coming out in P4. Both on the hard tyres though. Stormfly on hard tyres. So Smith in P2. He's the only one on the soft tyres with just coming up to 5 minutes to go. So Smith is in a perfect position to get his double win. We'll keep an eye on him. Let's have a look where everybody else is. Bennett is in 5th at the minute. He's on soft tyres, trying to catch up to the likes of Brian Moncani and Unforgiven. Then we've got Nath in 6th, Grasshopper in 7th. Then we've got Neil Farmack in 8th. So it'll be Neil and Grasshopper having a bit of a fight. I don't think they are going to get themselves up on the podium. They are on the hard tyres, as I say, sitting in 7th and 8th, and there is quite a gap between themselves and the leader at the minute. So it is a big ask towards Neil Farmack. Gets all sort of squirrely out of that, out of the turn there at turn 8. And it is now getting very dark out there. Headlights on full beam. Oh, a Si makes a move on Method. Oh, and a big slide for Si. Oh, he just couldn't quite get that done. Let's go back and have a look, shall we? We'll go on board with Si. So out of turn 9, he got a better exit and decided to go the long way around at turn 11. Method just sitting there, and Si got his wheels on the grass, and that's a big old slide there. Maybe should have just waited a little bit, been a bit more patient, I think, and he might have got the job done over the course of the next couple of turns. But Si now down in 12th, looking to get a spot back from Carlsberg, so that's unlucky for Si. Bain in 13th, and Matty with a half a second in 14th. That's really not been his race, has it? So he'll be glad to see the back of Japan, I'm sure. Let's have a look and see where we are going next round. See if I can tell you. If I can find it, we are going to be, for the final round, we are going to be at the on the Nordschleife on the 24-hour layout. So another fantastic track there. Up at the top though, at the minute it is Stormfly leading from Smith in second. Smith on the soft tyres. He has now got the current fastest lap, a 2 minute dead, and really pushing now. Stormfly's last lap was a 2:03, so Smith 3 seconds quicker at the minute on those soft tyres, although they are starting to wear out. He has got only 3 minutes to go, so Smith can really push this, and is looking good. He's getting closer and closer to Stormfly, so Smith, I'm not going to write him off for a double win. At the minute, Stormfly will do everything he can to take the win, but he will be struggling on those hard tyres. He just hasn't got the pace that Smith's got at the minute. Unforgiven in third. He's trying to hold off Brian Moncani. Brian Moncani having a good race. Started 14th, didn't he, on the grid, and he's now up to 4th, and putting Unforgiven under all sorts of pressure. But all Unforgiven has got to do is just keep it on the tarmac, make that BMW as wide and as fat as he possibly can, and make it difficult for Brian Moncani to make the move on him as they come out of turn 14 onto the back stretch. Brian Moncani is definitely in the slipstream of Unforgiven as they go up the hill towards 130R for the 11th time. Is Brian Moncani going to get close enough to make a move on Unforgiven at turn 15? I'm not so sure he is. No, he's not. He's going to have to follow Unforgiven for a few more turns yet. Bennett sitting in 5th, getting closer to these two. So while they're battling away, as Brian Moncani looks like he was making a move there at the chicane. Fantastic shot of the brake disc glowing red hot as they try and get these cars slowed down. But Brian Moncani, what a great exit out of the final turn onto the start-finish stretch. Now it is a 3/4 mile drag race down towards turn 1. Brian Moncani on the inside of Unforgiven and gets to the turn first. Unforgiven looking for the cutback, but Brian Moncani just slams the door shut on him and moves up into P3. What a great move. Not a lot Unforgiven could do about that, although he did try. Brian Moncani just got the better of him that time around, and into the S's they go. So Unforgiven will probably just have to sit there now behind Brian Moncani for the next few turns, although he's not going to give this one up without a fight, is he? Unforgiven desperately wants to get back onto the podium. Had a win last week in race 2, and fancies another sip of the old champagne, does Unforgiven. But Brian Moncani has got other ideas. We are into the last minute. Let's just go back up and see what's happening up at the top. And Smith has managed to catch up to the back of Stormfly as they come out of the chicane, the hairpin, sorry, onto 200R at turn 12. This sweeping right-hander up into Spoon Curve at turn 13 and 14. And Smith is having a bit of a look at the inside. He has got the better grip with those soft tyres and gets the move done. Fantastic racing from Smith. The fuel light is on though, and well, I'm not sure, are we going to get another lap out of this as Smith takes up the lead? Stormfly has decided to fight back. Stormfly is on the hard tyres. Smith closes the door on him as they go through 130R up towards the chicane. Now then, I don't think they are going to get one more lap out of this, which is exactly what Smith wants, because the fuel light is on and he's now sipping, and that is the end of the time. So Smith, fantastic racing for Smith. He's going to take the win, his second one of the night, just ahead of Stormfly in second. Stormfly did everything he could. He just couldn't hold on to P1. Brian Moncani is going to get himself up onto the podium as he finishes third, just ahead of Unforgiven. Good racing for them too. Bennett across the line in 5th. Nath, he's going to cross the line in 6th. Good racing from Nath for the 2 races. Grasshopper in 7th with Neil Farmack in 8th. Then we've got Method, who will cross the line in 9th. Willard, he will come home in 10th. We've got Sai, unlucky for Sai, really. That error with the fuel has cost him. He finished in 11th. Carlsberg across the line in 12th. Vane will finish 13th. A change of car for Vane as well, I think. I think he was in the Alpha, wasn't he, first time in race 1, but he's gone to the Subaru for the race 2. So Vane in 13th. Well, he's actually run out of fuel. Unluckily for Vane, Vane has run out of fuel, so that means Matty Holder will. Matty cross the line he will, so Matty takes 13th, and poor old Vane, just to end a miserable race at Tokyo, finishes 14th. So that was race 2. So please join me next week at the Nordschleife on the 24-hour layout for the final round 10 of this Wednesday GT3 Championship. Thanks for watching. I shall catch you all soon.